Oh, okay.
So their background,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
we are same CC.
Only got 14 classes.
14. Oh, 14, yeah.
14, 15, 16.
Oh, so 16 is including with both of you. Okay, then I go and change.
That's why long.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. Can I get your Let's come a bit closer. Okay, good afternoon everyone. My name is Ja. I am an education officer here at the Lee Kong Chian Natural History Museum. How many of you have been here before? None of you. Okay, very good. So it's your very first time.
Only you.
Okay, so before we start, right, just a couple of house rules. Strictly no eating or drinking inside the gallery, okay? So not even plain water, because water can cause condensation on the glass panels and we don't want that to happen. So just for the next 1 hour and 30 minutes, kindly do not drink any water. Okay, and feel free to take photographs, but take it after the tour, because during the tour you guys want to concentrate and listen up and learn more things, right? So don't take photographs during the tour, take it after the tour. You'll have free and easy time. But when you take photographs, please switch off the flash. So no flash photography, because flash can cause the colors on our specimens to discolor over time, and we also don't want that to happen. Okay, so just 2 things. Everyone ready? Okay, so at any time, right, you guys can ask me as many questions as you want. Or if you need me to stop and you want to ask me about something, you can raise up your hands and ask me to explain. Everyone okay?
Question.
Yes.
After the tour, can they hang around?
Yeah, can. You can stay as long as you want.
What time
Does it end? Yeah.
Museum closes at the last entry is at 5:30, so around like 6, 7. Yeah. So after the tour, right, you guys can tour the museum by yourself. Okay? Alright everyone, let's start over here.
I put my photo.
Okay, actually you can bring it along, just don't need to. Okay,
I'm a videographer, so yeah, this is going to be part of an exclusive for the.
Alright everyone, let's go on inside. Okay, you can just come all the way to the front. So gather closer so that I don't have to raise my voice. Okay? Alright, so maybe before we start, right, just a bit of an introduction to the museum. This is the largest and the oldest natural history museum in Southeast Asia. So natural history museums means we showcase the biodiversity. So biodiversity means like the plants and animals in this region. So the focus of this museum is Southeast Asian biodiversity. So whatever plants and animals that you guys see here today, right, they are from this part of the world, Southeast Asia, most of it. Okay? And everything here, 99.9% is real, unless I tell you it's not real. Okay? So if I tell you if it's not real, right, I will point out to you and I'll tell you that it's a model and it's not real. Okay? Other than that, you can assume that everything is real. Okay? So we're going to start off with this particular wall over here. Does anybody see all these different groups of animals? Okay, looking at all these groups of animals, right, you see these numbers. Any guesses? What do you think these numbers represent? Yes, very good. It's the number of species. Okay, so all these numbers reflect the number of species under that group of animals. Okay, and looking at all these numbers, can you point out to me which is the largest group of animals? Yes, very good. The insects are the largest group. Okay, so insects, even though like some of them can be quite small, right? They're actually the largest and the most diverse group of animals in the world. We have about 1 million over species of insects. Okay, so even us mammals, right? It seems like as if there's a lot of us around, right? But then it's actually one of the smallest groups. It's only about 5,000 to 6,000 species. Okay, so all these numbers, the number of species, it's accurate as the wall went up. So definitely, right, maybe 50 years later you come to the museum again, all these numbers will definitely have to be changed. Okay, why? Yes, correct. New species always gets discovered, and of course you have existing species that can go extinct as well, right? So all these numbers will definitely not be constant at all times. Okay, and according to the size of the numbers, right, the illustrations are also very different. So even though the elephant is actually much more larger in real life compared to the insect, but over here it's shown to be the insect drawn bigger as compared to the elephant. Okay, alright, so let's move on inside now.
You make a great assistant for my video.
Okay, so this one is not real. Okay, so I'll point out to you. Okay, so we have about 5 to 6 models in the museum, and this one is a model. This is not real. Okay, but I'm sure you guys know what flower this is. This is the rafflesia flower. Okay, so the rafflesia flower was actually named after a very important man in Singapore. Who is that? Yeah, correct. Sir Stamford Raffles. Okay, so Sir Stamford Raffles, a lot of us know him as the founder of modern Singapore, right? But what a lot of people didn't know is that he's a very big naturalist. He liked to discover a lot of plants and animals in the region when he was here. Okay? So together with his friend, they were on a trekking trip, and then they discovered this flower together. Okay? And usually scientists, whatever they find, they like to name it after themselves, right? So the flower is named after the man Raffles. Okay? So the full name of this flower is called Rafflesia arnoldii. So Raffles after Sir Stamford Raffles, and arnoldii is after this man called Arnold, which is his friend. Okay, so both of them were actually discovered this flower together. Okay, so this is a model for 2 reasons. Because if you have the real one here, it will be very, very smelly. Because it's one of the world's smelliest plants. Okay, and number 2 is also because when we try to preserve the rafflesia flower, right, it doesn't look very nice. It looks very brown and very crumbly. So you cannot really look at it in how it actually looks like. So that's why we have the model over here. But this is actually the life-size model. So if you go to like maybe Indonesia, the Sumatran rainforest, you see, if you happen to see a full-grown rafflesia flower, this is exactly how big it can be. Okay? And looking at it, do you guys see anything green over here? No, right? So this is clearly a plant that cannot photosynthesize. So that means it cannot make its own food, right? So if it cannot make its own food, then how does it get its nutrients?
Roots.
Okay, so what about the roots? You're almost there. So the roots actually feed on other plants in the rainforest. So it's a parasitic plant. It's not a carnivorous plant. It doesn't trap insects. It attracts insects for pollination. But how it gets its nutrients is that it uses the roots, the underground of the body, to actually feed on other plants in the rainforest. So it's a giant parasitic flower. Okay, and this is the largest single flower in the world. All right. Okay, so let's move on inside over here.
Endangered, right?
No, it's not. No, Singapore don't have. This one is endemic, meaning it's like usually only found in Sumatran area. Like Sumatra, Borneo, that area. Okay? So if you guys wanted to see how an actual rafflesia flower looks like when it's preserved, right, this is here. So you see it looks like very brown and not very nice, right? So that's why we have the model, we don't have the real rafflesia flower there. Okay, so this is a different size rafflesia flower. Rafflesia family, there's a lot of different sizes of flowers. So that Rafflesia arnoldii is actually the biggest in the group of family. Okay, so this is a smaller version. Okay, alright, so maybe a little bit about how we preserve the plants. So how we preserve the plants is that we have to press it, we have to heat it, microwave it under like high temperatures, and then we sew it on this paper. Okay, so this is acid-free paper, so that this doesn't interfere with the plants that's being pressed on. And you see that all the, every single sheet, right, has this kind of information sheet. So this information sheet is very important. It has the name of the species, who found it, where was it found. So all this kind of important information is written on in that sheet over here. So if let's say you have the plant, but then you don't have that information sheet, right, then that's essentially useless. We need to have both in order for it to be considered a record. Okay, so these are all what we call herbarium sheets. Okay, let's go and take a look at that very big flower there. Okay, so this is also not real, this is a model. Okay, so this model over here, this is the model of the flower called the Titan Arab. Okay, So this Titan arrow in Indonesian language is called bunga bangkai. So bunga means flower and bangkai means corpse. So you put it together, it actually means corpse flower. Okay. So this smells as bad as a dead body. So it's actually equally as smelly as the rafflesia flower. Okay. And this is the life-size model. So this is how big it gets. So the rafflesia flower is the largest single flower, right? But this one looks bigger. But this is not a single flower. This is inflorescent. So an inflorescent flower means that it's many tiny flowers on a single branch. So you can't really see the tiny flowers from the outside, but from the inside, right, this region over here, there's one ring of male and one ring of female flowers from the inside. So this is what we call an inflorescent flower. So it's not a single flower, but it's made up of many flowers on a single branch. Okay. So this Titan arrow is very special because it blooms only once in 7 years. So it takes a very long time to bloom. And when it blooms for about 24 to 36 hours only. Okay, so at the peak of its blooming, right, it's a very, very atrocious stench. And some people in some countries, right, they actually go pay money to watch it because it's such a rare event. Okay, so they smell the smell and then they pay a lot of money to watch this entire blooming process. Okay.
So this is found only in Sumatra as well?
This is endemic to that region as well, but sometimes it's artificially transplanted to certain botanic gardens. So sometimes in the USA also you can find it over there. Yeah, but under like controlled conditions. But it's endemic to Southeast Asia. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Titan arrow. Alright, so let's move all the way inside over now. Okay, guys can come over this side. Okay, so in this section over here, right, we have animals that we can find in the marine environment. So a lot of them, not all of them, they belong to the ocean. Okay, so we're going to start off with this group of animals over here, and we call these sponges. I'm sure you guys are aware of like SpongeBob SquarePants, right? A cartoon character. But he's actually supposed to be a real animal called a sponge. But sponges in real life, they don't look like him. They look like this. So nothing like SpongeBob, okay? So like number 3 over here, this is a very deep underwater sponge. And we call number 3 the Venus flower basket, okay? So you can see there are many holes on the body of this animal. So, and that is what's special about sponges. They have a lot of holes on their body. So they literally look like a sponge. They are filter feeders, so they will filter out the water and that's how they get their nutrients. Okay, so this Venus flower basket has a very special relationship with another animal called the shrimp. So some of you might have eaten shrimps before, like the very tiny prawns. So within this Venus flower basket, there is one male shrimp and one female shrimp that lives inside, okay, when it's alive. So when it's really small, the shrimps will go inside the holes and then they will live inside and they are like trapped inside. But then they are okay with it because they get protection from the sponge. And in turn, the shrimp will actually help to clean the insides of the sponge. So a lot of animals, right, they like to live very closely together so that they can help each other out. Okay. So the shrimps, if you come and take a closer look, right, on the right side, the exoskeleton of the shrimp is still stuck inside. So it lives inside, it's trapped inside and it dies inside. So the only time that the shrimp can come out is when they reproduce and the smaller shrimp is small enough to escape from the holes of the sponge. Okay, so you can still see the skeleton of the shrimp over there. Okay? Yeah, so it's the Venus flower basket. So moving over to here, we have animals that have stinging cells. Okay, so you look at them, you can't really see the stinging cells because the stinging cells are quite small and transparent. But you see the tentacles, the stinging cells are usually on the tentacles. Okay, so number 9, I'm sure you guys know what number 9 is.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, very good. So jellyfish, okay? How many of you have any encounters with jellyfish before?
I think before.
Okay, so some of you might have eaten. Anyone seen it before in real life?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone unfortunately got stung?
No.
Okay, fortunately nobody. But do you guys know what you're supposed to do if you get stung?
Go hospital.
Huh?
Oh, no. Go hospital.
Okay, yes, you do. You should go hospital. But if let's say the hospital is like far away, how? Huh? Suck it up. No. Okay, so have you guys heard that you're supposed to pee on the area that you get stung by? So some of you might have heard that, you know, like you get stung by jellyfish, go and pee on the area. So yeah, let me tell you what happens when you do that. Okay, so let's say the jellyfish stings your arm area. So the stinging cells are left behind, correct? So when you pee on it, this will activate the stinging cells to secrete more toxin. So it becomes like a peeing competition. See whether I run out of pee first or whether the thing runs out of toxin first. Then in the end, it becomes very smelly until the doctors don't want to see you. Okay? So do not pee on yourself. Don't ask your friend to pee on yourself. It doesn't work. Okay? So that is bad advice. Don't listen to that advice. Some of my friends who've gotten stung before say that applying vinegar and heat helps a little bit. Like it helps to reduce the pain until you go to the doctor. It's always good to go to the doctor because the stinging cells are very small and transparent, so the doctor will make sure that all of the stinging cells are removed. Okay, so even though you've washed it away, it might still be embedded in your skin. So going to the doctor is always a good idea. Okay, so this is the jellyfish.
But it's not deadly as the thing.
Some jellyfish, like the box jellyfish and the blue ring jellyfish, yeah, that one is very dangerous. I think in some countries they use it as like aquarium pets. Yeah, but it's very dangerous like for other creatures. Like you cannot put like smaller fishes together with jellyfish. Yeah, correct. Okay. So can you guys take a look at number 31? Okay, so this very big creature over here looks like a snake, right? But then it's actually a very big worm. Okay, so it's called the giant reef worm. It can grow all the way up to 1.5 meters long. Okay, so this one can be found in Singapore actually, and it looks very brown and like very pale looking, right? But when it's alive, it's actually like very bright green in color. So it's very colorful and shiny. Okay. So this is what we call the giant reef worm. And long time ago, what hawkers do is that they'll crush the worm. They use the mucus to make laksa paste. Okay. So this is apparently how laksa was made long time ago to make it very delicious. Okay. But don't worry, now laksa is safe to eat. Now they just use normal shrimp paste. But last time they did use like earthworms and this kind of worm, use the mucus and make like noodle paste. Okay? Yeah. So, maybe just a bit of explanation on how we preserve these animals. Okay? So, for the plants, we press it on the herbarium sheets, right? But for a lot of these animals, some of them you can see that they are not in liquid, some of them are in liquid. Okay? So, there's actually different purposes. So, let's say if you have a rather soft body, we will keep them in this liquid. They will preserve them in this liquid, and this liquid is not water, it's alcohol. It's specially called ethanol. It's a very concentrated version of alcohol, and this allows us to preserve the specimens for a long time. Okay, so some of these animals have been kept inside these ethanol for maybe about 20-30 years. But one thing that is not very good about the ethanol is that it causes the animal body color to come out. So that's why you see this worm, right, which is supposed to be like shiny green in color, is now very pale and discolored because of the side effect of the ethanol causing the body color to leak out. So that's why you see the liquid is also become like a bit yellowish orangish. So that's all because of the ethanol. Okay, so all these animals will definitely be much more colorful when they were once alive. So everything here is all real. They're all just dead and preserved. Okay, alright, so come over here. Any guesses as to what number 53 is?
This one is the super.
Huh?
Was it?
Sea cucumber.
Yeah.
Very good.
Like
Sea cucumber, yes.
I like to eat that.
Yeah, so some of you might have eaten sea cucumbers before, right? The ones that we usually eat locally is like very black, long and thin. But sea cucumbers, they come in different shapes and sizes. So this is a very like short, grey and fat one. Okay? So sea cucumbers, they have very interesting ways of defending themselves. So let's say they're very stressed out or you go and like poke them unnecessarily, they will start to puke out all their internal organs.
Would
So
they die after puking?
Yeah. So when they puke out all the internal organs, right, they will die over time. But if let's say they have enough energy and fat reserves, they can grow back the intestines in 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so it really depends on whether the sea cucumber got enough energy or not. So if it doesn't have enough energy, then it will just die over time. Okay, so knowing this, in some countries what they do is that they fish for the sea cucumbers alive, they cut it up, then they eat the intestines raw, then they sew it back up and then they throw it back into the ocean because they think that all the sea cucumbers can regrow the intestines. But unfortunately, not all sea cucumbers can do that. Then when you do this, the sea cucumber just end up dying. Yeah. So like I had a very enthusiastic friend during an intertidal trip. So he picked up a sea cucumber and he held it up like that. Okay, so then it started to squirt white stuff all over his face. So this sticky white stuff all over his face was actually the internal organs of the sea cucumber. Okay, so he tried to remove it, but then it was very thick and gooey. Then the more he removed, the more it got spread all over his face. So he waited for 2 hours. Then after that, then he slowly take out like a face mask like that. So luckily nothing happened to him. He wasn't allergic. It wasn't painful. But for another person, it might actually cause an allergic reaction. Okay? So that's why whenever you go out, any nature trips, right, don't anyhow touch any plants or animals. They look very innocent, but you don't know how they will react to you. Okay? Alright, so let's move on to the next zone. Okay, you guys can come back and explore. You got a lot of easy plants later, okay?
So all sea cucumbers can be eaten, right?
No, not all of them.
Not all of them.
No, only some species.
Unless he wants to go hospital. Usual. Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, so this section over here is what we call the mollusk section. So the mollusks are creatures that have a very soft body. Okay, so if you have a very soft body, you would tend to have a hard shell to protect yourself, right? Okay, so most of these mollusks, like the ones that you see over here, they have a hard shell, just like the giant clam. Okay, so the giant clam is a very slow growing creature. Sometimes it takes up to like 10 to 12 years just to reach adult stage. And you might have heard of a weird story. People say that you go very near the giant clam, it's going to like tap onto your hand or leg. But that is not true, okay? So the giant clam is almost always slightly open. Why is it always open? That's because inside the giant clam, there is this plant, the algae, that lives inside. So this is another like mutually beneficial relationship. So the plant will make food and give to the giant clam, and the giant clam will give protection to the algae. So this is how they help each other out. So if the algae needs to make food, it needs sunlight, right? So that's why the giant clam always needs to be open at least a little bit so that the sunlight can go in and the algae can make food. Yeah. So it will never like close onto you. Okay?
But they always find the bottom of the seabed, right?
Yeah, but sometimes they can be actually found quite close to the shore. So because some of them can be found very close to the shore, right? They are also affected by poaching. So these giant clams, they look very nice and pretty, right? So some, beachside resorts, they actually use real giant clams to make wash basins. Like, do we really need to have like wash basin made out of a real animal? Don't need, right? Okay, but unfortunately, some people they like them, especially all the atas people. Then this animal already takes like so long to grow, takes about 10 years to grow. Then you just poach one, right? That's the entire lifetime of the animal just gone like that. Yeah. Okay. So and of course the meat is also eaten in some countries. So not only the shell is hunted for, the meat is also hunted for.
And it's pearl.
Yeah. So the pearl is actually it only forms when the animal is like irritated.
Oh.
Irritated as in not like us irritated, but like when sand particles go in and certain chemical reactions form and then the pearl starts forming. So not all clams and oysters form these pearls.
People like purposely put some particle inside.
Actually, yeah, but that one because the conditions that form the pearls, right, is very, very particular, very, very minute. So it's not just like you put a little bit of external substance and then it will grow. So it needs like certain conditions. So that's why it's very, very rare to find pearls. Okay, and that's why it's precious. So those mollusks, the soft body animals, they have shells. But then we also have soft body animals that don't have shells. And you might be familiar with them, like the octopus, the cuttlefish, the squids, your sotong. Okay, I'm sure you guys eat squids before, right? If you have seen someone or you have prepared a squid yourself, do you realize you have to pull something out? Yeah. So you have to pull something out before you cook the squid. So that thing that you pull out, right, looks like a plastic tube, but it's actually the internal shell of the squid. So this means many million years ago, the squid used to have a shell. And body parts that you don't use over time, right, they start to become smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's why the squid still has a shell, but it's just become very small and very plastic-like thing that is inside the body now because it doesn't really use it anymore. So that's why you have to pull it out because it cannot be eaten, cannot be digested, and after that then you can cook it. So it still does have a shell, it's just inside. Okay? And like octopuses, they are very, very smart. So even though all these creatures, they don't have a shell to protect themselves, they have other methods. They can swim very fast because they got no external shell to cause them to be slower. And sometimes they squirt in, like the squids, to confuse their predators. And these octopuses, they can camouflage very well as well. Okay? Like number 57, 58, octopuses, they are invertebrates. They got no backbone, and they are one of the smartest invertebrates. Like there was this octopus called Otto the octopus. He was in a Germany sea aquarium. Yeah, that was a football one. This is a different one. So he was very irritated that there were a lot of light shining on his tank. So what he did, he climbed onto the side of the tank, then he squirted water onto the light, he broke the light, then he caused a blackout every day of the week. Okay? And the sea aquarium staff didn't even know who was causing all this trouble until they stayed overnight. Then they found out it was actually the octopus that was causing all this trouble. Okay, so they are very, very smart. Yeah, there's another octopus that like opened the water valve and like flooded the entire place. Yeah, so they need to be occupied, so that's why in some aquariums they actually give them toys to like play around with. And in some countries they have a security guard specially for the octopus tank. Because even if it's like there's a lid on it, right, they can just take it out and go away. Yeah. And some of you might be aware of the Paul the octopus. Were you guys alive in 2002?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So Paul, okay, maybe you all were very young. Well, 2002 there was a World Cup and there was this Paul the octopus and he could predict all the World Cup matches and he predicted it correctly. Yeah. So very, very intelligent.
By chance.
Maybe, but they're actually quite. But then every single match was correct, so maybe there is some truth to this. Yeah. But he died of old age, so he's not around anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I'm not
What
sure.
was the lifespan of that?
What's the lifespan? I'm not exactly too. Yeah, that one I'm not very sure. Okay, so let's go over that side. Okay, so we are still at the mollusk zone, the animals that have a very soft body, but these ones they also have a shell. Okay, so this one over here, these mollusks are what we call cowrie shells. C-O-W-R-I-E. And what's so special looking about them is that they look exceptionally shiny, right? It's not because we polish them and keep them here, they are naturally like that. So this is because when the cowrie is alive, the body will wrap over the shell. But that's a little bit weird, right? Like, what's the point of the body if what's the point of the shell if the body is going to go over the shell? But the shell secretes a mucus substance that makes it very shiny and slippery. Any idea why do you think it's good for the cowrie to be slippery?
Slip off the predator's mouth also.
Yeah, it's very good. So for example, if a predator like a crab wants to grab onto the cowrie, it cannot do that, then it can just slip and slide away very easily. So it's a defensive mechanism. Okay? So it's very pretty and attractive. It's used as jewelry in some countries. And long time ago, people actually used cowrie shells as money. So instead of using dollar notes and coins, right, cowries were actually like currency. Yeah. So if you guys realize our Singapore dollar notes now, right, on the front side, we actually have a cowrie pattern hidden on it. So some people think that it's like a random fingerprint or a random pattern, but it's actually a cowrie. So this is to illustrate the fact that cowries were used as money long time ago. Okay, so again, it's on all our dollar notes, so go home, you can go and try to find it. It's on the front side and it's behind Mr. Yusof bin Ishak's face. Okay? Alright, so let's move on to the dinosaurs now. Yeah. No.
From US.
Yes. Alright. Okay, so if we see over here, how many dinosaurs do we see in the middle? Yes, correct. There are 3 dinosaur fossils. Okay. So what is a fossil actually? It's a preserved bone. Okay. So many million years ago, let's say when an animal dies, then it's buried over many layers of sediment, right? And hard body parts like our bone and the teeth cannot rot. So when it's buried underground, the minerals from underground will go inside the bones and go inside the teeth and take over the structure. So what you find over here is the dinosaur fossil, and it's grey in color because why? It's basically made up of minerals from underground. Okay? So these 3 dinosaur fossils are real dinosaur fossils, and they are 80% complete. So usually it's very difficult to find a dinosaur or any vertebrate fossil that is almost complete. Usually you'll find like bits and pieces of the body. So this is very valuable to find it almost nearly complete. Okay? So these 3 dinosaur fossils, they were found together in a quarry in the USA. So you might be wondering, like I mentioned, this is a Southeast Asian museum, right? So everything, like most of it should be from Southeast Asia. But why do you like buy something from the USA? This is because 150 million years ago, when all of these animals were alive, none of us were around. And there was also no countries. There wasn't like UK, Singapore, Australia. Everything was just one big land mass. So for all you know, all the dinosaurs might actually be roaming all over the place. So they don't really like belong to a certain country. Okay? So to learn more about these dinosaurs and to educate the public over here, so that's why we acquired them, and now these 3 dinosaurs are in the museum.
I heard it's not cheap though.
Yes, it's not cheap. No, certainly not cheap.
Not cheap.
Okay. So these 3 dinosaurs, they are sauropod fossils. So sauropods are dinosaurs that have a very long neck and a very long tail. So any guesses, what do they eat?
Plant.
Yes, very good, veggies, plants. Okay? So they use their really long necks to reach onto the top of trees, and that's how they get their food. So these are herbivorous dinosaurs. Okay? So we have nicknames for them. The one with the head over there, that is 27 meters long, and it's called
That's the head. I thought it was
That's the head. Okay? So the one with the head reaching the second floor, right, that is 24 meters, and it's called Apollonia. The one on the hind legs over here like this, right? This is the smallest one. This is 12 meters and it's called Twinkie. Yeah, I know it's not very scary names, but I have no reason as to why they are called that way. It's just nicknames that we have for them. Okay? So, these three dinosaurs, as I mentioned, they are herbivores, so their teeth is actually quite blunt. So if you take a look at the teeth at the skull area, right? It's very blunt because since they don't need to chew meat, so they don't have molar teeth. All are very blunt teeth. Okay? So, how did dinosaurs die? Yeah, so one of the most famous theories is the meteorite, right? Even though nobody actually knows, there's a lot of different theories. So this over here is a real meteorite. Okay, so this is not just, it's not the meteorite that hit Earth, but it is a real meteorite nonetheless. So when I give you guys instructions, you can come over here and try to lift this up. You're supposed to be able to lift it up slightly above the ground, and it's such a small piece already so heavy. The actual size, which is approximated to be the size of Sentosa, would be even much more heavier, right? So you can just imagine. So this is the real meteorite. Once you're done lifting this up, you can try touching this. This is the real femur bone of a dinosaur called the Edmontosaurus. So the femur bone is the thigh bone.
This real one.
Yeah. Both of it is real.
Wow.
Alright, so guys, I'll give you about 2 minutes, then you can try to lift this up and touch it.
The rocks from the somewhere outer space.
Yeah,
is
so
it?
this particular one was found in Argentina, Mexico area. So this dodo bird is not real, it's a model. So the dodo bird is one of the first victims of human-caused extinction. So why is it directly in front of the dinosaur? It's to compare. Because the dinosaur, the extinction, it had nothing to do with it. It's natural extinction. But this one is actually caused by humans. So the dodo birds, they lived in this island called the Mauritius Island, and when they were on the island, they were very happy on it. There wasn't any predators for them. Okay, so but people started to go onto the island, and when they started to go onto the island, they also brought together with them cats, dogs, and chicks. So these domestic animals started to feed on the eggs of the dodo birds, and also started to raid the nests of the dodo birds. So that's one reason. Okay, another reason was the dodo birds were also hunted to death. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, you're not supposed to touch it. Yeah. Okay, so when you look at the bird, right, this doesn't look very tasty, but it was hunted to death, so everyone ate it, so it was ate until its extinction. And you look at the wings, it's very small wings, it definitely cannot fly very well. So if you're being hunted and your wings are so small, that makes you even more vulnerable, so you cannot escape. Okay? And the third reason is also because when people came onto the island, they started to clear the forest because they wanted to develop the place, right? So when you clear the forest, and these guys, they live in forests, so then they lose their habitats. So because of all these multiple reasons that were all caused by humans coming onto the island, right? So the dodo bird is actually one of the first human-caused extinction. Okay, so nobody really knows how the dodo bird looks like. So these are like artist impressions. So in some museums, you might see the dodo birds with like a slightly shorter neck and a slightly smaller body. So these are various interpretations of how the dodo bird might have looked like because they are various versions. Yes, correct. This is a model, but the real fossils of certain parts are over here. Okay. Alright. So let's move on over that side.
Actually, that was the real thing. It's not fake. Based on what I've seen lah. There's a video of it. Oh, by the way, I have 3 of these. A lot.
Okay.
I catch it.
So this entire section over here, right, we call it the arthropod zone. So arthro means jointed and pod means leg. So you put it together, arthropods actually mean jointed legs. So all the animals in this section, they have jointed legs and they also have an exoskeleton, meaning that the skeleton is on the outside of the body. So when all these arthropods have to grow bigger, they need to remove the exoskeleton and get bigger, newer ones. So they have to do this thing called molting. Okay? So this one, this weird looking creature that looks like a stingray, but it's actually not a stingray, it's a horseshoe crab. Okay? So So it's called crab, but it's actually not related to crabs. It is more related to scorpions and spiders. Okay. So number 2, as you see over here, this is a fossil of a horseshoe crab. And this was nearly 200 million years ago. So that is like dinosaur time. Okay. So number 3, 4, 5 are horseshoe crabs like how you would see them today. So if let's say if you were to go to like Changi Beach or like Pasir Ris Mangroves or Sungai Buloh and you see a horseshoe crab, this is how they look like. So does everyone sort of agree that like over many million years, they never really changed their features? They look quite similar, right? Okay, so that's why we call horseshoe crabs living fossils. So living fossils are creatures that do not change their feature over time because they are very well suited to the environment. So that's why they don't need to change. Okay?
What do they eat?
They eat other smaller crustaceans like other smaller fishes and crabs. Yeah. Okay. So another interesting thing about these horseshoe crabs is that their blood is blue in color. Okay, so our blood is red, right? Because we have iron in our blood. But for these guys, they have copper in their blood, and copper makes things blue, so that's why their blood is blue in color. Okay. And one more interesting thing about the blood is that there is this protein compound that is in their blood that scientists are trying to take out. And they want, because when you use this protein to test it on their medical equipment, because when it comes into contact with bacteria, it starts to clump up. So if you use it to test your equipment, you can tell whether the equipment is really clean or not. So this is like one benefit of the horseshoe crab. So that's why they're extracting the horseshoe crab blood. But you don't have to like kill the crab for you to do that. You just need to take out maybe 30% of the blood and then it will regenerate the blood again. But in some countries this is starting to be a bit like controversial because when you remove the blood, sometimes the horseshoe crab starts to become dizzy. Then it will swim in a wrong direction, then it can get stuck in abandoned nets, for example. And you look at the tail, it's so long, it's very easy to get stuck anywhere. Okay, so that's why it's a bit controversial.
But people will eat this.
Yeah, in some countries, the horseshoe crabs are eaten, especially the gills part, the gill part over here in the middle. Apparently it can be eaten. I've heard. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to insects now over here. Okay. So I like to point out number 3 to you guys. So number 3 is very big insect. This is called a cicada. Okay, so the cicada is the one that makes a very high pitched ee sound when you walk past a forested area. And it's only the male cicadas that make that sound because it's a mating call. Okay, so how do they make that sound? They have 2 plates near their stomach area that they rub really very hard. Then this friction causes a very high pitched sound. And to us humans, all the cicadas sound the same, but actually different species of cicadas have different sounds to them. Okay. So let's say it's a very hot day, it doesn't really seem like it's raining, but then it's raining only under one tree. It may not be rain, it might be the cicada peeing on you. Okay? So the cicadas, they actually have mouth parts, right? They look like straws, so it's very like piercing mouth parts. So they use their straw-like mouth parts to suck on tree sap. Then they drink a lot of tree sap, that's what they feed on, sometimes several times their body weight. And when they don't need it, they excrete it all out, right? So it really feels like heavy, heavy rain. Okay, so in some countries they thought it was a holy magical tree, then they started to pray to the tree. Yeah, and then after that they found out it was just this normal thing called a cicada shower. Okay? So apparently if you are interested to experience this, right, you guys can go to Labrador Nature Reserve. Apparently I've heard there's a lot of like cicada showers over there. Okay? So this is the cicada. A lot of people confuse them with the crickets, but crickets tend to make sounds only at night. Cicada is like more throughout the day.
Throughout the whole day.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually if you guys like keep a bit quiet now, you can hear it. We have audio sound of it. Okay? Yeah, so that's how cicada sound like. Okay? Alright, so let's go over here.
Swimming.
Yeah, you guys can come over this side. So we have different types of crabs and shrimps also over here. So I'd like to point out number 22, the one that says bomb. Okay, so this one is called the pistol shrimp or the snapping shrimp. So if you've ever passed by like an intertidal beach area and you hear some sounds like this snapping sound. Okay, so this snapping sound is actually created by this snapping shrimp. So how do they make that sound? They have one claw that is bigger than the other one. So when the bigger claw snaps into the smaller claw, this creates a lot of bubbles. And when all the bubbles pop at the same time, this creates a very loud sound. So you can imagine they're so small, we're so big and we're far away, we can hear them. This must be even much more louder, like a bomb for the creatures that are around them, right? So that's how they will stun their prey and then they bring them back to their burrow and eat them. Okay, so they are very, very loud. So number 21, the one that says hammer, this is a smasher mantis shrimp. This means that the front two claws, right, are actually shaped like a hammer. So they'll smash their prey really hard and then they bring them back to their burrow and eat them. Okay? So it looks like it's very small, right? But it can smash things that are 2,500 times their weight. So I know of someone who actually picked up a smasher mantis shrimp and it fractured his finger bone. Okay, so even though it's very small, right, it can pack a very, very big blow. Yes. So the size is
They're in
actually not
Singapore?
effective.
Are they located in Singapore?
Yes, we can find smasher mantis shrimps around this region too. Okay. So just by looking at the legs of the crab, right, you'll be able to tell what kind of crab it is. Like number 6, right, even if the word paddle wasn't there, you just look at the last pair of legs, and all the legs, in fact, they're all like really flat, like a paddle. So you know that number 6 is actually a good swimmer. It's a type of a swimming crab. Okay. Any idea as to how to tell the difference between a male and a female crab?
Behind the triangle, right?
Yeah,
The
correct. Yes, correct. So even without opening the crab, right, you can tell. If you turn it to the bottom, the male ones tend to be narrower and there's a triangle shape in the middle. But for the females, it tends to be rounder and larger. That's because they need more space to hold the eggs. Yeah, so that's how you tell. So you don't have to flip it up to see whether there's eggs or not. Okay. So let's go over there to see the crabs that we usually eat. Okay, so this is the flower crab, you know, your chili crab and all that different types of crabs, right? This is the flower crab and this is the mud crab. So the mud crab it's actually a type of a swimming crab. Because you see the last pair of legs is very flat, so it's supposed to be able to swim very well. But the entire crab itself is very, very heavy. So that's why it doesn't really use the legs for swimming, it uses it to burrow into the ground. Okay, so the mud crabs that we usually get in Singapore, they are imported because we don't have enough for commercially eating them. So the ones that we have are usually the mud crabs from Sri Lanka, for example. Okay, so mud crabs, flower crabs, and even the cicadas that we just saw, they're also eaten in some countries. Okay, and this is the tree climbing crab, number 5, because you see the legs are very sharp and pointed, so you can climb up trees. And I think long time ago, this was usually pickled in vinegar, and they soak it in vinegar and then they eat it with Teochew porridge. Like, yeah, long time
I
ago.
tried it.
You try before?
Hong Kong selling all this one.
Yeah.
So they live on land.
They live in like muddy areas, like in the mangrove area. Then they can climb up the trees. Yeah.
How big do we go?
Can go slightly bigger than this. Like I've seen some of this size in number 5. Yeah.
But her micro is dirty, right?
Which one?
They eat any kind of stuff.
Yeah, correct.
They eat any stuff,
They eat
no?
anything.
Anything, you know?
Yeah.
Just wash it before you cook it.
Yeah. So then these are sago worms, which can also be eaten, but do be careful when you eat them, because like one of my colleagues ate them and he broke out. His entire face just turned purple. Yeah, very bad allergic reaction.
Allergic.
Yeah. So everything here can be eaten.
Can eat.
Is he alive?
Yes. Yes.
But
Okay.
he's already
Your
dead.
scorpions again.
Alright.
No
so
offense.
see over here. Okay. So number 1, this is the Japanese spider crab. This is the largest marine crab in the world in terms of the leg span. Okay. So this is very deep underwater, so to find it is very difficult, and that's why it's actually very expensive. So I think if I'm right, one dish of this spider crab can cost about $600 to $700. Yeah, and one dish can serve about 10 to 12 people. Okay. So number 3 that you see over here, this red color crab, looks like the crab that we usually eat, right? But it's actually Singapore's most poisonous crab. Okay. So number 3 is called the mosaic reef crab, and you can see it's bright red in color, right? So this is a sort of an adaptation for certain animals. The brighter color you are, it kind of warns your predators that are very dangerous, don't eat me. So this is what we call warning coloration. Unfortunately, a lot of people accidentally eat it and die because they think it's the usual crab that we eat. Yeah, because this can be found in Singapore waters. Okay?
They're marine, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they're not freshwater crab.
No, they're not. Okay, so number 4 in that glass jar over there, that tiny bottle, there's actually a very small crab. I think you cannot see from there, right? Okay, so that's actually one of the smallest crabs. It's called the coral spider crab. The maximum size that crab can go to is 2 millimeters. Okay, so number 5, that is called the coconut crab. It can climb up trees, and the pincers are strong enough to crack open coconuts. Yeah. Okay. Number 2 at the back over there, that is the Tasmanian giant crab. And that is one of the heaviest crabs for the size that it can go to. And you notice that it has one pincer that's much larger than the other. Okay? So a lot of crabs, right, they tend to have this kind of characteristic feature. One of the pincers larger than the other one, and the ones that have that kind of feature, right, usually are the male crabs. Okay, so this is a very sweeping statement, but you know how females like males with bigger muscles. Okay, so female crabs also like male crabs that have bigger pincers. Okay, so the bigger your pincers are, the more attractive you are to the female. So they can fight each other off, the males will fight each other, and the one that has the bigger pincer will get the female. Yes, correct. So bigger pincer you get more women. Okay, let's move on.
So all these are edible, except for the poisonous.
No, the one that's small
Tasmanian.
one, no. I know the Tasmanian one, I'm not too sure, but the coconut carrot definitely can be eaten.
Can be eaten.
Yeah. One of my colleagues ate it before and said it tastes like coconut.
They
No. That one's found in Christmas Island.
taste like coconut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coconut. What goes in?
Okay, over here, please. Okay. So this very special fish that is hanging over here, right? This is a model. This is not the real one, but this is a model of a fish called a coelacanth. So this coelacanth is a very prehistoric, like old dinosaur fish. So this was actually found about 400 million years ago, and then it disappeared suddenly about 80 million years ago. So it wasn't found in fossil record. So everyone thought it became extinct. Until recently in 1938, a group of scientists, they found one population of this coelacanth in Africa. So they found one population, so that's why this fish is now often known as the living extinct fish, because it was thought to be extinct and then it was now living. Okay? So scientists wanted to find more information about it, so they searched all over the ocean. They wanted to find whether there was a second population. And they did manage to find it. They found it in 1998, and they found it in another country this time. They found it in Indonesia. Can anyone make a guess? What type of place do you think this scientist found it in Indonesia? What type?
Batam?
No, what type? Okay, it's a very unexpected place.
Freshwater.
No,
Seawater.
Tourist spot.
no,
Canal?
no.
The toilet.
Aquarium.
What?
What is it?
Toilet.
No, it was found in a fish market. Yeah, you see, it's like very anti-climatic, right?
Maybe they're eating.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very ironic, it's very funny that scientists were painstakingly trying to find another population, only to find out that the Indonesians might actually have been regularly eating it all the while.
So it's not extinct, man.
So now there's two known populations, one in Africa and one in Indonesia. So it's actually quite a regular catch in Indonesia. And so, right, the scientist that found this in Indonesia, he wasn't even on a research trip, he was on a honeymoon with his wife. Then someone saw the fish getting reeled in and was like, hey, is that a coelacanth? Then he go and interview the local fisherman, and they found out that yes, that's a coelacanth. Yeah. So in Indonesia, this is called the Raja Laut, king of the sea, because it's very, very big.
Still not allowed to eat or
I think in Indonesia it's still eaten, So now there's just two known populations. They're trying to see whether there's actually more populations all over the world. Okay, so this is the coelacanth.
Tastes like coconut.
Alright,
Tastes
okay,
very
so
good.
guys, let's move outside.
I don't know. Trust me, they don't want to eat one again. I had food poisoning. Tried one in Indonesia. That one. Food poisoning. It's not advised.
Okay, so over here, alright guys, okay. So over here we have a group of animals that we call the echinoderms. So echino means spiny and derm means skin. So you put it together, it actually means spiny skin. So if you touch all these animals, right, they'll feel a bit spiny and a bit rough. One of the most famous echinoderms that we all know of are the starfishes, right? But it's actually scientifically not very correct to call it a starfish because it's not a fish, so we usually call it a sea star. Okay? So if you flip a sea star to the back, this is how it will look like, number 33. So there is this tiny hole in the middle, that very, very tiny hole, that is the mouth of the sea star.
Right in the middle.
Yes, very, very, very small hole. Okay, and it's not very good to have a small mouth, right? Because you cannot eat a lot of things. So what the sea star does is that it will push the stomach outside through the mouth, and then it will eat things outside, and then it will suck the stomach back in. Sounds very disgusting, right? But this is very important for the sea star. It's called external digestion, and this allows it to eat things that are slightly larger than itself. Yeah, so even if it's a medium-sized sea star, it can use the arms and open a shellfish, pour the stomach outside, eat it outside, and then suck the stomach back in. Yeah, so this is external digestion. Okay? So even like sea urchins also come under this category of echinoderms. So these are sea urchins, and you have also sand dollars. These like dollar-like structures. These are also animals as well. They just look like dollar coins, so hence we name them the sand dollar. Okay. Alright, so let's go and take a look at some dangerous fishes now.
Those are cactus though.
Yeah, looks like cactus, right? But it's a type of urchin.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, so I'd like to point out number 21 to you guys. So number 21, this is a puffer fish. Okay, so the puffer fish over here, this has a stomach that is very expandable. Okay, so it will swallow a lot of water and then it will make itself really big, and that's how it's unappealing to the predators. Okay, so even though this is actually a poisonous fish, the puffer fish is eaten, it's called fugu fish in Japan. Okay, and like the fugu meat and fugu sashimi is very, very like highly demanded for. Okay?
Expensive though.
Yeah, very expensive. And it has the poison inside the liver and the intestines area. Okay?
Malaysia also having.
Yeah. Okay, so this fugu fish over here, right? In some countries, the customers actually ask the chef to leave the toxin behind because they want to eat the toxin. Why? Okay, because this toxin, right, it numbs your nerves and then it gives you a very drug-like high feeling, and people like to feel high, so they ask the chef to leave the toxin behind. Okay?
I thought it's daily.
Yeah, so actually if it's a very, very tiny amount, right, it's actually okay. You will just get high for a while and then it will wear off after a couple of minutes. But let's say the chef isn't careful enough, if he leaves too much of the toxin behind, right, it's enough to kill you within 10 minutes. Yeah, so it's very dangerous. So that's why to be a pufferfish chef, right, you need to get a license. And you need to go through exams. The last exam is for the chef to actually eat the pufferfish himself first. So he needs to test it out, see whether nothing happens to him, then after that he can serve it to you. Yeah. So there's actually been cases whereby a pufferfish chef gets poisoned by his own fillet. Yeah. So it's very, very dangerous.
And there's both marine and freshwater, right? Pufferfish.
I think it's mostly marine. I'm not too sure about the freshwater part. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's go over to the other panel now.
But can like it destroy the
No, cannot. Cannot. Yeah. So even if you cook it, it will still no.
don't want to try.
Yeah, don't try.
But when I cook can release the toxin.
Oh, no, it doesn't. No. Alright guys, over here. So another dangerous fish that we're going to look at is number 16. Okay, so number 16 over here, this is what we call the stone fish. So it looks exactly like a stone, right? Because it camouflages very well. You see the top part of the body, there is this very sharp venomous spine. So if you step onto it, it's going to pierce into you and it is going to be very, very painful. Actually, it's not fatal. A friend of mine accidentally stepped on a stonefish before and it pierced into his leg. His leg swelled up 6 times the original size and he was in hospital for about 28 days. Yeah, and he had to be given like morphine every day. So morphine is like this high level painkiller, right? So he said it's very, very excruciating pain. And he said that is the day he learns the most number of Hokkien words. You get what I mean? Because he cursed all the way to the hospital because it was that painful.
It's in Singapore as well.
Yes, yes, we can find stonefishes in in most of our offshore islands. So like you can find it in Pulau Hantu, Pulau Semakau, Sisters Island, yes. So that's why whenever you go to the beach area, even though it's very nice to be barefooted, you know, to feel the waves crashing on your leg, but that is not safe. Okay, so always wear good shoes because you don't know whether a stonefish is there, for example. Okay. So number 7, I'm sure you guys know what number 7 is.
Clown.
Yes, Nemo, very good. Okay, so I'm sure you guys might have watched Finding Nemo at some point, right? Okay, so Nemo is unfortunately not orange, he's white. That's because of the side effect of the ethanol. But if you guys know that clownfishes, right, they are actually all born male. So in a school of clownfish, everything is male except one of it, the largest one, which is the female clownfish. So when the largest female clownfish dies, the next largest male clownfish will change gender and become female. That's because clownfishes can actually, they are born with both reproductive organs, so they have chemical sensors that are able to cause them to switch.
So they only can have one female.
Yes, correct. In the
Can't have more
school.
than one female.
Cannot. Yes. So doesn't this mean that Finding Nemo is not correct? Because if Nemo's mom died, then his dad should change gender to become his mom, right? So now you know that Finding Nemo is not correct. So cartoons
They
are
always hang
inactive.
around
Yeah,
corals, right? Those living corals.
the sea anemone.
Yeah. Any reasons to eat? Is it?
The sea anemone it actually gives protection
Oh.
because clownfishes, right, they have this mucus substance on their body that allows them to live inside the sea anemone, even though the sea anemone is actually a stinging creature. Yeah, so that's why they help each other out. So it gets protection from the sea anemone. Then the clownfish can help to attract other fishes for the sea anemone to eat. So another relationship together.
Ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay. So if you take a look at that really big thing upstairs, that is the rostrum of a sawfish. Okay, so the rostrum refers to the extended nose of a sawfish. Okay, so the sawfish is very special because even though it develops in eggs, right, it develops fully inside the mother's body before it comes out. So can you imagine if all the young sawfish look like that when they come out of the mother's body? It's going to be very painful and bloody, right? Okay, so they have this very special feature. The young sawfish, before it comes out, it develops this mucus lining around the rostrum. So this allows it to slide out of the mother's body without causing her any pain or any injury. And after 1 to 2 weeks, the mucus will actually just melt away by itself. Yeah, so that's how it prevents any injury on the mother.
Are they a family of sharks as well? No.
Which one?
Sawfish.
They are actually in the same family.
shark.
They are yeah, correct.
So they don't. Do they give birth live then?
No, they develop eggs inside the stomach, but before they come out, they already developed, so they come out. Like, yeah. Okay? Alright, so let's move on to the very big crocodile over there.
Boya.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Okay, so this is a saltwater crocodile, and this is a real crocodile. Okay, so how do we preserve all these animals? So this one we saw like preservation in liquid, right? So this one is dry preservation. So all the internal organs have been taken out. So anything that can rot in the animal's body has been taken out. So the internal organs are all removed, and this particular crocodile is actually replaced with a lot of straw. So it's stuffed with straw and wires inside. Okay. And eye tissues are one of the first things that will rot in an animal or human body. So we have to take out the eyes as well. So the eyes that you see over here and all the different animals in the museum, right? These are not the real eyes. These are custom-made glass eyeballs. Okay. So this is not just a real crocodile. This is also a Singaporean one. This is the one that was found in Serangoon River in 1887. So that's a very long time ago. So this is a very, very old specimen. Okay. So this is about 4.5 meters long. We can still find crocodiles in Singapore, like in Sungai Buloh, Kranji Reservoir, for example. But definitely like not this big. Okay. And you also notice that this crocodile is bogey. No teeth, right? Okay. So we actually don't know what happened to the teeth. Because when
There's no teeth.
yeah, no, because when the hunter gave us this specimen, right, he gave it to us without the skull. And teeth is connected to the skull, right? So if you don't have the skull, you don't have the teeth. So we actually don't know what happened to the teeth. Yeah. So this skull over here doesn't belong to this one, but it belongs to another of a similar species. Yeah. Okay. So inside this, there's actually wires to pop it up. So this one does not have a skull. Alright?
So this is the skull of another.
Yeah, this is the real skull of another of a similar species, but not this one. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people tend to ask like how to tell the difference between alligator and crocodile. First of all, the distribution is different, so we don't really find alligators in this part. But another distinguishing feature is that from either side, right, you see the four tools from the front is actually jutting out. You see it's poking out. So this is something that is characteristic of crocodiles. Okay, so they have this top tool that is coming out. Alligators don't have that. Okay. Alright, so let's go and take a look at snakes now. Yeah.
Is that your bag?
No.
You put it there.
So is that an alligator? This one?
No, that one is not. This one
That's
is
a crocodile.
a false
It's narrow.
gyro. Yeah,
Oh.
that's a gyro. Yeah. Alright, so let's come over here. Okay, so maybe guys will try and move a bit. I'm going to talk about the snake here. Okay. So number 15, this very big one, this is the king cobra. And this is about 4.74 meters long, and it's a male king cobra that was found in Singapore Island Country Club. So that's the place that you play golf, right? So what was he doing there? No, I don't know. But if you take a look at the head, there's actually a bump. So this was actually hit by a golf club. Okay, so people are not just scared of snakes, they are aggressive towards them. Okay, so the first instinct for some people is to hit and then to run away. But actually if you keep a distance from snakes, right, if you don't provoke them, it's very highly unlikely that they will want to attack you. Okay, so you just need to keep a distance and don't do anything to them. Okay, another reason why snakes die in a lot of other developed countries like Singapore is that there's roadkills. So I'm sure you guys know what roadkills are. So let's say if a snake wants to cross over the road, then we drive too fast, we don't see them, we end up squashing them. Okay? So have you guys heard of the Eco-Link at BKE? Okay, some of you yes, some of you no.
Pass by.
Huh?
Pass by.
Okay, so if you are traveling on the Bukit Timah Expressway and you see this really big grey colour bridge, right? That's called the Eco-Link at BKE. It's written over there. Okay, so this is a man-made bridge for animals like this to cross over so that they don't have to literally cross the road. Okay? Yeah. So, are snakes poisonous or venomous?
Venomous.
Okay, yes, very good, venomous. But what's the difference?
Poisonous like defense, for defense.
Not exactly.
Venomous is injected.
Okay, very good. Okay, so poisonous is you eat it then you die. Venomous, it bites you then you die. Okay, so that's a very simple way of telling the difference. So you're right. So venom is injected, but poison is ingested. So we saw the pufferfish that is poisonous, the stonefish is venomous, and snakes are also venomous. But of course, not all snakes are venomous. Some are just mildly venomous, some are not venomous at all. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to that really big animal over there.
Is that the whale from the newspaper?
Yes.
I thought it was much longer. Thought it would be much longer though.
If you happen to feel tired and you would like to sit down, you can feel free to sit down. Okay, no one's tired. Okay. So, this over here is a very big marine animal, and this is the Singapore sperm whale. Okay? So this was a sperm whale that was found washed off, it was spotted off Jurong Island in 10th of July 2015. So that's just about 2 years ago. And some of you might have read about it in the newspapers or seen it on Facebook, for example. Okay? So there was actually a member of the public, someone like you and me, took a very blurred photograph of it. It was off Jurong Island waters and it was circulating on social media. So it was on Facebook, and then eventually the relevant authorities, they find out about it. So the museum, we found out about it and we sent a team down to assess the situation because we wanted to see how the whale was like. Okay? So usually, what other natural history museums and other countries do when they get such a big animal like this is that they will bury it underground. They bury it underground and then they'll wait for maybe about 2 to 3 years, and then after that they'll get the skeleton again. Okay? But in Singapore, there's no space for us to bury such a big creature underground for such a long time. So the only logical thing that we can do is to manually deflesh the whale. So manually defleshing the whale means literally using like knives and hooks and gloves to actually cut off every single part of the whale's flesh.
Does that mean getting covered in blood because some parts of the whale can explode?
Okay, so I'll come to that a bit later. Okay, so this entire defleshing process took about 71 days, and to piece up everything together took about 9 months. So after a total of about 250 days, we finally have this whale in the museum since March last year. So this is one of our latest exhibits. So what you see over here is the real 10.6 meter long, fully grown female adult sperm whale. Okay, so 10.6 meters, this is about average size for a female sperm whale. Male sperm whales can go all the way up to 18 meters long. Okay, so this is a very deep underwater creature, and how it moves about is through echolocation. Okay, so if you see this part of the whale, this is the skull, it's very big, it's nearly 2.4 meters long. Okay, and there is this gooey substance called the spermaceti organ on this gap over here. Okay, so it helps to send out certain sound signals, and these sound signals will hit onto objects and echo back. So this is how echolocation works. So if the object is very near, the echo will take a shorter time to come back. But if the object is very far away, then the echo will take a longer time to travel back. So just by judging whether the echo is very near, takes a shorter or longer time to come back to itself, it will be able to tell whether the prey is very near or very far away. So even though the sperm whale doesn't have a very good eyesight and it's very dark, it still can survive and move about using echolocation. Okay? And why is it called a sperm whale? So last time, very long ago, scientists used to think that this part over here is full of the sperm of the whale. Okay? And then in they found out that they were not correct, that it wasn't filled with the sperm of the whale, it was actually filled with spermaceti organ. So this is an organ, it's a gooey substance that helps the whale in the echolocation. So the sperm whale is called sperm whale because of spermaceti organ and not because of sperm. Okay? And the characteristic feature of sperm whales is that their head is very big, the skull is very big, and it's very rectangular in shape. So if you see a rectangular shaped head, it's a sperm whale. Okay? So, you see the orange color part over there that is lighted up? So that part was actually found broken. So we think it could have been a ship propeller. The blades of the ship could have hit that part of the whale, caused a very big injury, a lot of blood to be lost, then the whale couldn't swim, couldn't find food, and eventually it died. So we think that that is the cause of death of the whale. Okay? And that is possibly the case because when we were dissecting the whale, right, then we see the stomach contents, there wasn't any like fresh food. So this, from this we know that the whale wasn't eating a couple of days before it died, since we didn't find any fresh food. Okay? So that orange part is lighted up because that part only is not real. It's made out of a cast material. Okay? So we're going to take a look at the original part of that section. It's on the other side, so we'll walk over.
I'm still convinced in whale explosions.
Okay, so that orange color part that you see over there, it's been broken into smaller pieces. So these are the real smaller fragments from that part of the backbone. Okay. So these two glass jars over here, there are more than 1,800 squid beaks inside. So squid beaks are parts of the squid's mouth part that they use it to feed on their prey. And all these squid beaks were found inside the whale's stomach. So what does this say about the whale? Yes, correct. It eats squids, correct. So that is the diet of the whale. It eats squids and octopuses. And these squids and octopuses have beaks that cannot be digested, so that's why they are left behind inside the whale's stomach. Okay? And unfortunately, as you can see over here, there's trash, and this was found inside the whale's stomach. Okay? So this is natural, the squid beaks, because that's what they eat. This is not natural. So this is a very clear example of marine pollution. Okay? So we throw something into the ocean, we think it doesn't really affect the animal, but it does. Because you look at the mouth, it's so big. When it opens the mouth, right, everything goes in. Not only the food, but all the trash goes inside as well, because it cannot filter out, right? Okay, so this trash can get stuck inside the stomach and the intestines and prevent it from eating more food. So over time, the whale thinks that it's full, but it's actually not full, it's just full of trash. Okay? So these cans over here, these are examples of whale meat. So unfortunately, in some countries, whaling is still permitted. So this is hunting for whales for their meat. Okay, and another reason why whales are hunted for is because of their blubber. So blubber is a thick layer of fat that is underneath their skin and helps to keep them warm and afloat. Okay, and this blubber is very thick. So it's nearly like 12 cm thick, like this thick. Okay, so it's so thick, right? Every 4 times we inserted the knife in to cut the whale, we had to sharpen the knife again. Every 4 times. So that was how thick the entire flesh layer was. Okay?
Is your bone?
The blubber is...
Is your bone supposed to be purple?
Okay, I'll come to that in a while. Okay, so the blubber is the fat. Yeah, but the flesh was also very thick. Yeah. So the blubber layer itself is 12 cm. Okay, so but one thing very interesting about the blubber is that when you burn it, it doesn't produce a lot of soot. So soot is the black stuff that comes when you burn things, right? So because when you burn it, it doesn't produce a lot of soot. In some countries, what they do is that they get the blubber and they use it to make certain products like smokeless candles. So almost every single part of the whale can actually be hunted for different reasons. Okay, so why is this part purple over here? So this is actually quite a mystery to us also. We don't really know. At first we thought it could have been the chemicals that we use to remove all the oil from the whale's body, but we don't think that is the case because we mostly use boiling water to clean different parts of the bones. So we think that this could just be a stain. So when moving different parts of the bones, right, we actually used ropes. So these ropes might have actually left a stain behind on the bone. So we still today don't really know what's the exact reason. Okay? Any questions about the whale? No? Okay. I think just now you were mentioning about the explosion, right? So sometimes you might have seen YouTube videos like when you get a whale washed offshore, and then when you make the first cut, everything, all the internal organs just burst out and explode in your face. So we were actually worried that might happen to us. So why does this explosion happen in the first place? Because when the whale dies, all the internal organs start to rot, right? And this rotting process builds up gas in the body. So when it comes up onto the meat and then you make the first cut, right? All the built up gas will just explode. So to prevent that from happening, in case it was going to happen, we put metal rods first inside, like hollow metal rods. So we put the hollow metal rods, and then we can actually hear the gas like fizzing out slowly. So that actually prevented any possibility of the whale exploding in our faces. Okay. So, and also in any case, since there was a big cut on the whale's body in the first place, right? So we actually didn't think that it would explode because the cut itself would have caused some of the gas to escape in the first place. Okay. So this is the snorkel. Alright, so let's move on maybe to another mammal before we go upstairs.
Still convinced on the explosion of whales. Just like,
Alright. Okay, so how many of you have heard of kopi luwak? Civet poop coffee.
Yeah, the pool, right?
Yeah, okay, no. Okay, so some of you have not heard about it. So what we call the civet poop coffee, also known as kopi luwak coffee, is there are these civets. So civets are these animals over here, number 20 to number 25. Okay, so these are civets, and these civets, they will feed on coffee berries. Okay, so this is actually a natural process. So they do naturally feed on coffee berries, and then they poop out the coffee berries, and farmers will use the pooped out coffee berries to make kopi luwak coffee. So they use the pooped out coffee beans. Okay, so this is very, very expensive because apparently it has this very exquisite taste. So one cup of kopi luwak coffee can cost about $40 to $50. Even though I've heard that it tastes quite similar to our normal kopitiam coffee. Okay. So, you know, like all these very atas people, they demand for this kind of coffee. So when there is a demand, there is also supply, right? So what farmers do is that they start to make this into a farming process. So instead of the civets naturally feeding on the coffee berries, they start to feed the coffee berries, like force feed them. Okay? Then when you start to force feed them, right, then they start to bleed in their feces. Then you know that they are not doing very well. Okay, and when you farm the civets, you put them into a small space, right? And they also don't like to be a small space because they like to roam about freely. So when you do that, they start to tremble and shiver and they get stressed out and they eventually end up dying. Okay, so all these different reasons cause civets to actually be threatened because of this kopi luwak industry. Okay, so nowadays there's actually a lot of weird coffees. There's like hornbill coffee, there's orang-utan coffee, there's rhinoceros coffee. So it's basically all just poop of these animals. So they feed them the coffee berries, they poop it out, and then you make coffee out of it. Okay, and it's not good for the animals, unfortunately. Okay, so those are the civets, and the two at the bottom, number 26 and 27, right? These are the pangolins. So the ones that have the scale-like structures on their body. So these are also very critically endangered because it's used as traditional medicine, the scales. So the scales are used, they're like crushed into powder and used to make like pangolin scale powder because apparently it can cure rashes, high blood pressure and fever, even though there's no scientific evidence to say that this is true. The scales, right, are actually made out of keratin, and keratin we also can find in our nails and our hair. So we really wanted to eat pangolin scales, we might as well just eat our own nails and our hair. Okay, but a lot of people don't know about this, so that's why pangolins are also endangered because of this reason. Okay, so yeah, civets and pangolins.
They're all located in Singapore as well.
Pangolins we can find, but not a lot because we've lost all the habitats. Civets can also be found, but very, very rarely. Yeah. Okay.
one guy caught it in Siglap.
Yeah, so it's very, very difficult to find them because we only have very few numbers of them left. Okay, so let's go upstairs now.
As for wild boars, yeah, I saw it in Tuas, and it's a lot. Got me and my friend to run out earlier. Take the bus out.
Alright guys, let's move upstairs.
Because at that time, Tuas is not like fully developed, so yeah, the only way to get in is by 192 or 193 bus. But eventually, yeah, who knew I was going to see a lot of wild boars got. Then a few days later was like news reports of wild boars in Tuas bus interchange there. You heard about it, right?
Yeah.
The one that is a lot. And some idiot went there to go and take a look at it. Bus enthusiasts, yeah. I also one of them, but not very, yeah, so active. Those bus spotting things. The one who went there, yeah, too active and nearly got himself killed. because he went to go and find them.
Okay, so this over here, okay, so this level, right, this is the heritage gallery. So this is more about like the history of the museum, how we first started off long time ago, okay? So this over here is a real specimen of a leatherback turtle. Okay, so leatherback turtle, we usually cannot find it in Singapore waters. The closest place to Singapore that we can find it is Terengganu, so that's Malaysian waters. So this over here is the only record of a leatherback turtle ever in Singapore waters. So this particular one was washed off Siglap Beach. It was found by a group of villagers and it was donated to our museum long time ago in 1884. Okay? So leatherback turtles are very easy to tell. If you count on the side, right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 lines on the shell. Okay? So these 7 lines are characteristic feature of the leatherback turtles. Okay? So leatherback turtle is a type of a marine turtle, right? And they have a lot of negative impacts on them because of humans. One reason is that humans, we poach their eggs. So turtle eggs are eaten, that's number 1. Number 2, they're also affected by pollution. So leatherback turtles, they feed on jellyfish. So when you throw a plastic bag into the ocean, right, then they cannot tell the difference between a jellyfish and a plastic bag. Then they sometimes accidentally eat the plastic bag thinking that it's a jellyfish and they end up eating them and they can get suffocated. Okay. Number 3 is that the shell is used for different products like maybe combs and spectacle frames and belts, for example. And number 4 is because of artificial light. So sea turtles, they need moonlight to move at night. But moonlight is not the only light that we have at night nowadays, right? Now we've got so much of artificial light from city areas. And they end up following the wrong light, and this can affect their nesting and their laying of eggs. Like recently I went to Indonesia, then I saw this very big green turtle. It was supposed to be laying eggs, and the ranger told us that it's supposed to lay for about 1 hour, and it can lay up to 50 to 60 eggs. But then right, in our group of visitors, there was one particular visitor that kept on using flash in his, when he was taking photographs. Then this affected the turtle, and then it stopped laying eggs within 15 minutes, and then it just swam into the ocean. When it's actually supposed to lay for about 1 hour. So it only laid about 24 eggs in total. So you can see like how our actions actually affect the animals very greatly. Yeah, so these are, this is the leatherback turtle.
This is real actual.
Yeah, correct. This is the real one. So this is very big. Yeah, 2.1 meters.
Except the eyes, it's fake.
Yeah, correct. The eyes are not real. Alright? Okay, so let's move on inside over here. Okay, so this cabinet, okay, so all these various cabinets, right, it's about different people and what they did for the museum. So Raffles was actually one of the first people who even mooted the idea of a natural history museum. Because when he came here, right, he didn't just find Singapore, he also discovered a lot of plants and animals in the region. Okay, and these are some of the things that he did. So number 14, you can see how the real refugia looks like again, very brown and crumbly. Okay, and this bear over here, this is one of the world's smallest sun bear, and this was actually found by Sir Stamford Raffles, and he raised it together with his children in his nursery. And apparently this sun bear very atas, can drink champagne. Because like he made the sun bear like eat dinner with his family, and it developed a taste for champagne. So according to historical records, right, this sun bear can actually taste champagne. Yes, so this is the sun bear. Okay, so you can see some of the drawings, not necessarily done by him, because last time there wasn't cameras or smartphones, right? So the only way to record things was to draw it and to paint it. So these are some of the drawings that he asked people to help to do for him. So he was in Singapore for actually quite a short period of time, like I think 9 to 10 months only. So he hired a lot of people like biologists to help him to draw whatever he discovered. Okay? Alright, so let's go all the way to the end over there. I was describing to all of you about the deflashing, right? So over here we have the real, the actual video of how we deflash the whale. Okay. So because the whale is a very big marine animal, right? So it has a lot of oil on the body. So we need to make sure that every single little bit of oil has to be taken out because it can resurface back again. Okay, so that's why we have to put it in boiling water and then scrape off every single bit of like cartilage and everything. So as you can see some of my colleagues who are actually labeling it. So because everything was in small bits and pieces, right? So we have to make sure we label it everything properly before we come to the museum to put it up together because we didn't want to lose any single part. Okay? This deflashing was done in Tuas. We found the whale in Jurong Island, right? So actually Jurong and Tuas is quite near to each other, but to bring the whale from Jurong Island to Tuas, right, took about 4 hours. Very long time. Why? Because we had to drive the boat slowly. Because if we drive too fast, right, then the rope will snap, then the whale will just be gone. So we don't want that to happen, so we drive very, very slowly. Yeah, so that's like boiling hot water. And you can imagine it's like dead, decomposing, very, very smelly. And there's a lot of maggots and flies all over the place. In Singapore very hot, right? So it's like maggots, flies, everything. So the maggots actually, even though it's very irritating to find maggots and flies flying all over, right? But then if the maggots and flies, they are natural decomposers. So they help to feed on the meat and make it softer. So it's actually easier for us to pull out and tear. Okay? Yeah, you see the start of the video? That's coming through. Yeah, so this was finally at Tuas after the 4-hour ride. And you can see it's already night time already. Then there was a crane that we bring the whale from the water to the land. So as I mentioned, there was a lot of challenges, like we were scared that it might explode, so we had to put the metal rods in before we start to deflash. And we also had to do the deflashing quite quickly because we don't want it to rot too much because we still wanted to take like DNA samples from it so that we can study. Yeah, so these were the flies and maggots all over. So the intestines were like nearly 6 meters long, so we pull and pull and pull. And the size of the heart of the sperm whale is the size of an armchair. So that's how big it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So cut off every single bit.
Smelly.
This is a gooey stuff, right?
Yeah, so the internal organ. So that's the layer of the flesh layer.
Like shit like you want to take. I want to use it as blackmail.
Yeah, all the internal organs. So we did take some DNA samples and everything else had to be incinerated. Oh, these are all my colleagues, so say the other way.
This is a dirty job, man.
Yeah, but we are all like interested in
I think
it.
MC of this day.
Yeah.
Anyone say I don't want to do it?
No, we are like dying to do this.
Really?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like to do it?
Yeah. It's like whenever you get such things to
History,
celebrate.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
history.
Oh, you
Yeah,
get
it's
history.
like once in a lifetime. Doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. So we actually use very simple tools like knives, pen knives, steak knives.
This is a tube, right?
Yeah.
Oh. This is a tail part.
Kill.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna end my tour here. So thank you very much for visiting the museum. You can explore whatever places that I didn't bring you guys to. So I hope you enjoy yourself. If you have any questions, you may come and ask me.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now end of the tour you can have your
Free and easy.
easy. So there's no transport to go back on. So we have to
This
really
is
go.
maggots.
Okay. Here.
maggot only what? Yo.
Maggots.
I seeing more
Tasty
than
what maggot.
你每个可以一个。
每个给一呗，你吃完。
对。